Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday afternoon. Hope yours is going well. And we have some pregame to get to today. We are about 21 hours away from kickoff in Miami. The Seattle Seahawks traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And what can we expect from this week? What are we looking for? What can I say about this game before it starts? Well, a few things, but in a general sense, I think the biggest thing I can say is that this smells like the very definition of a potential trap game, and this Seahawks team needs to not fall into the trap if they want to move to 4-0. We have a Seahawks team that has started the season better than a lot of people, including myself, thought. I thought we were going to start 2-1. We have not. We are 3-0. The team is not playing perfectly by any stretch of the imagination. They're leaving a lot to be desired in a few areas, but they have gotten 3 straight wins to open the year, and we're feeling pretty good about ourselves overall. And now we have this Miami team that hasn't been good for a little while. They were terrible for most of last season, and they've started this season out not looking particularly great either. They did get their first win last week, but there's a lot of little things going into this game that have me thinking, don't sleep on these Dolphins. Do not assume anything and don't take anything for granted. The Miami Dolphins are coming off a long week off because they played on Thursday Night Football last week, and it's really not even the Dolphins roster. I'll explain more by the end of this video, but if you take a look at the Dolphins roster, I don't see much. They're not going to have their best player on defense, in my opinion, who is Byron Jones. Byron Jones looks like he's not going to play. They're not going to have Frazier, one of their safeties. And the rest of their secondary is beat up but plain. Like Xavier Howard didn't have a full practice this week, but he's going to play. They have a couple other safeties who are banged up a little bit, but they're going to play. It's not like they're wounded, but they're not 100% either. And other than Kyle Vanoy, I don't see much on this Dolphins defense that concerns me at all. In fact, this Dolphins team ranks near the bottom of the league or right at the bottom of the league in many DVOA metrics, such as defense and especially their pass defense. So right off the bat, I'm looking at player v player on this team, and I'm saying Wilson should go off, Carson should go off, Metcalf should go off, Lockett should go off. Like, this should be an offensive explosion for the Seahawks. This Dolphins defense, it doesn't look that bad because they haven't given up a ton of points, but by most advanced metrics that try to look beyond the points, they're seeing a defense that is one of the worst in the league, if not the worst in the league. So I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, this Dolphins roster does not intimidate me with their defense. This offense should be ready to go. And the fact that it looks like our offense is going to have all of our players, Carson looks like he's going to play, Carlos Hyde looks like he's ready to go. The offensive linemen had a bit of a rough week in practice, but everybody looks like they're going to play. It looks good. We're finally even getting Cedric O back, which is significant because he's our swing tackle and he might help our running game a little bit. But right off the bat, we can say this offense should be able to drop 50 points in this Dolphins game if they need to. So it's not the defense that has me a little concerned. And it's not the offense either, although I want to say Fitzpatrick has proven that he's a veteran who knows how to make plays. He's a tough guy. He plays a very inspiring brand of football, and he is fully capable of getting it done and making plays against even good defenses. And you certainly would say that against this Seahawks defense, he's going to have it in him to make a lot of plays. We're talking about we're talking about a defense that has let Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, and Dak Prescott to completely obliterate them. I don't expect Fitzpatrick to miss his opportunity to rack up some stats against this team, especially when our injuries have been focused on our defense. And I can tell you right now, there will be no Jamal Adams, there will be no Quentin Dunbar, no Jordan Brooks. Probably, or at least maybe, I should say maybe. Let's hedge me a little bit there and say maybe. No Delano Hill and no Nico Thorpe. Now, granted, the secondary can't really get much worse anyway. The secondary is already playing miserable football. I don't see how it can really get that much worse. But it's not great. So I'm looking at Fitzpatrick and I'm saying, all right, Devontae Parker's going to get his. I mean, Shaq is not playing well to start this season at all. We all know what Trey Flowers did last week. It's not looking good for this secondary against an offensive attack that has some talent. Devontae Parker is a good receiver. Preston Williams had a good start to the season last year and then he got hurt. I'm not sleeping on him either. And as this game goes on, what I'm really concerned about is KJ Wright ending up in coverage against either a wide receiver or Mike Gesicki, who is slowly but surely becoming a breakout on this Dolphins offense. Mike Gesicki, very talented tight end. In my opinion, Mike Gesicki is like the best case scenario for what Colby Parkinson might turn into in a couple years, but we cannot let KJ get stuck in coverage in a situation where he's just overmatched, because Fitzpatrick has been around a long time and he's going to know to pick on that matchup if it develops into something that he can exploit. So the Dolphins offense, it has some things that they can do. However, according to DVOA, again, their pass blocking is abysmal, as in worst in the league maybe. So it is quite possible that this defensive line, this maligned defensive line, which took some steps in the right direction against the Cowboys, might be able to nip that in the bud. So I'm not even really scared of this Dolphins offense. I'm certainly not scared of their defense, but the thing that makes this really a trap game for me is this weather report. And you guys know I like to just beat on the fact that this team has proven time and time again they don't know how to play well in rough conditions. We have struggled in extreme heat. We have struggled in rain. It just doesn't seem like this offense in particular is able to play when the conditions are bad. And we can count on possibly both of those things happening tomorrow in that game. The forecast for tomorrow at Dolphin Stadium, I think it's called Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, is 89 degrees, feels like 98. And when I say that, that should immediately make you think of games like the Chargers in 2014, the Titans in 2017, the Jaguars in 2017. There was a Tampa Bay game in 2016, I think. Those temperature readouts should make you think of those games and remember what we did in those games. The team got worn out, especially on defense. They didn't perform to expectations and they got upset. So if we're taking the field tomorrow and the temperature feels like 98 degrees with the opportunity to go up a couple ticks by the end of the game, I'm thinking about this defense and going, are we going to just get run over a little bit? Are we going to wear out? So that's not good. And on top of it, we are looking at a 35 to 40% chance of rain, which is not bad, but it's certainly a possibility, and it's not a possibility I want to deal with when I'm already going to be dealing with extreme heat. I don't believe that Wilson plays well in the rain. I don't think this offense as a whole plays very well in the rain. So right away, I see two blaring warning alarms going off about this game. We've got heat, which this defense has shown they wilt a little bit in sometimes, and we've got rain, which this offense has shown makes them struggle. So what I can say about this game is this. We need to jump on the Dolphins early. We need to put up some touchdowns very quickly in this game. We need to build a big early lead. And that is the only way, in my opinion, the game doesn't come down to Myles Gaskin pounding the rock against an exhausted Seahawks defense. Because I know our run defense has played good this year. Our run defense has played really well, but I'm telling you, if the defense has to keep going back out onto the field, if they wear out, and if they get tired by the end and Gaskin gets to just run over exhausted defensive players for the Seahawks all game, or all fourth quarter, it's going to be tough. And it's going to come down to maybe one or two plays at the end, which is not a happy proposition for me when we have no idea what the rain's going to look like by the end of this game either. So if you want to win this game, I want to jump on Miami early and force them to go pass. And I know our secondary is bad, and I know our secondary might be worse than it is usually this weekend because we're missing so many players, and who knows what the pass rush is going to do, but That's the best way we can put this game away before the tired defense becomes a concern. So if we have to play in rain, then we have to play in rain. But let's get some points on the board early, bury this Dolphins team, force them to go pass only, and hopefully we can at least get a turnover or two to pack this game away. And that's really all I can say about this one, guys. I am not sleeping on this Dolphins team. If you don't like this Dolphins roster, which I for the most part don't, if you don't think that their players are going to be able to get it done, take a look at the environment the team will be playing in. There's some stuff to be concerned about, but I think we can get this win. I do. I think we're going to get it done. I think that Wilson right now is playing at a level where he's just not going to let the team lose, even if things aren't going perfectly. And that is something we can hang our hat on in a lot of games this year, I think. So go Hawks. Let's get this win. Let's go to 4-0. Let's get ahead of the ball. Let's get ahead of the game here. Let's win a game with some of our key defensive players out, too, because that's something we're going to have to deal with for probably another week or two after this one. All right. Peace out. Go Hawks. Let's get the dub.